Okay, so don't touch a thing. Close those windows and we're back on the A.
You're on here right now. Go with it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back even to Agora Startup Idol. And we are gonna dive right in real soon as that, oh no, Andrew's gotta be listening in order to get this. Andrew, we're gonna wait for you to be on, you're gonna judge too, right?
Yeah, go ahead and start. You're going to judge. I'm going to be over here working this.
All right.
Okay.
Then in that case, our first contestant is going to be Brian. Oh, Brian from Visuality. Awesome. Okay. Yes. Brian was up in front of Nolan Bushnell and a really good group of people last time, and we brought him back because he was so impressive to us. Brian, why don't you go ahead? Let's see. Did someone got a clock so they can start his timer? Okay. Go ahead and give your pitch. Starting right now.
All right. I'm Brian with Visuality, and what we have done is taking augmented reality that has been placed on t-shirts, and we've created a place where you can go where you can get just about every augmented reality t-shirt that exists out there in the world today. It's called visuality.com. We're finished building the site. Tell you a little bit about augmented reality to start. Augmented reality is taking something that a camera sees and adding a graphic overlay to it, much like the yellow first down line on the football field when you see it on TV. The best thing that's ever happened to augmented reality was that it went mobile, because now everybody has a camera and a computer in their hands. I'm going to give you a little demonstration here of one of our t-shirts. As you can see, we've got some Disney licensing. This is our animal t-shirt, and I'm going into a free application that will now open the camera on your iPad. As you can see, it's showing that. Now, when that sees my t-shirt, all of a sudden now something comes to life, and you've got the animal character, and I can play with the character, and I can do some different things, and I can also take my picture and I can send it on Facebook, I can share it by email or Twitter, and that's basically what we've done. So these are fun t-shirts that everybody likes, and right now there's a couple of pilot programs out there in some of the major department stores, but there's no place you can go to get all the augmented reality shirts that exist in the country today. So here's where we are. We built the website. It's a beautiful e-commerce site that has a nice, clean feel and look. It's got demonstrations on the product, which the major retailers can't do. They can't have that call to action because they're not going to spend the money on those displays. We've got that advantage in the marketplace. We also have a Kickstarter project going, which is where you guys saw my video, to bring independent artists together and let them put their work on a t-shirt. We'll augment it. We'll put it out to the country to buy on our augmented reality only website. And really, we're the only place in the world that is doing this right now. Really quickly, our challenge is a little bit of cash for inventory, and we're ready to get started. We're going to launch in about a week here.
All right. Well done. Eve, you want to bounce some questions off of them?
I think it's great. Some of the comments we given last time, like a demo, that's great. Got to see the demo. Got to see, why your idea is protected. Where your advantage is in the marketplace. And the one thing I would hit is it is a cool novelty. How big that market is, what that looks like, what the numbers are on that, but. I like the addition of the demo for sure.
Okay, good. Thanks.
I'm sorry, that wasn't a question. How big is the market? How big is the market?
Extra large.
A lot of the major retailers are picking this up. Macy's has a couple of pilots on some of them. Really, the market is every child in America that would ever wear a Disney T-shirt. I mean, we've got Transformers coming out. We've got some really hot designs coming out. What we want to do is start with a cool graphic, a nice T-shirt that anyone would want to wear anyway. It's not priced any higher than your normal T-shirt. We've added the augmented reality experience, which gives us an advantage on buying just a shirt that just has animal on it. So really the market's really big. I mean, we just need to get it to take off, and that's our challenge.
Axer?
Yeah, very interesting concept. I really like it. I personally would buy it for a few of my friends' kids who are now about 5 to 7. I had a question. If the cost or the pricing for these shirts is the same as normal shirts, how much of it is actually your margin for profit?
Our margin of profit. See, the good news on the shirts is that we get them really inexpensively because we're buying them from the same suppliers that supply JCPenney, Kohl's, Macy's, all these guys. The bad news on that is that I'm a small guy, and for me to buy in on that inventory, I have to do some pretty major buy-ins. So my margins, we're paying anywhere between $4 and $6 for a shirt, and then we're listing them on the website at 20. So I even have some room for discounts in there. So the margins are pretty good. It's just a matter of getting that cash for the inventory to get the shirts in the door.
So would you say that even though this has a new technology component, augmented reality, the manufacturing costs are very comparable to the existing T-shirts? In mass.
In mass, right? You're able to amortize the cost because of the volume is there, and there's other people buying them, and hopefully we become a major distributor of these. And that's where, like our Kickstarter for our independent artists, we can do an augmented reality experience for the $3 to $5 grand range. But what we're doing is we're raising money through their supporters to get that work out there and then have that augmented reality on the T-shirt.
Very interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting.
I'm going to take a turn at asking. A place where I get confused, Brian, is that we go online, we go to your website, and we see all the available augmented reality T-shirts. To what extent are you involved in creating all these augmented reality T-shirts? So what is your exclusivity? That you have the site where the central site, or that you're the leading developer of? Or what's your edge in augmented reality?
I think our major edge is we're going to carry the major brands. We're also going to create our own brand. But our advantage is right now, if you go anywhere, for example, let's say Amazon.com picks up augmented reality T-shirts, they are never going to get rid of everything else that they sell and carry just augmented reality. Our goal is to be a site that carries everything on that site being augmented reality. And we're going to add products like decals and stickers for your skateboard or guitar case, backpacks, hats, bedding, wall decals, like the fat heads of the big decals of the characters. So we're going to be one place where you can go to get that. And because of our experience in the augmented reality industry, that gives us a tremendous advantage in getting into these major companies. It took me 3 months just to get a phone call returned. But now I'm in with them, and I'm able to purchase from them. We're we're the only places that could buy from our major retailers.
Okay, good. Well, there's 30 seconds.
May I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead, sir.
So since the last contest, I'm sure you've seen Google Glass project come out.
Yes.
So will your clothing be in any way interactive or augmented by something like that? Does something like that coming onto the market help you out?
Google Glasses will be one of the best things that ever happened to us because it's essentially a computer that you're looking through your eyes at. You'll be able to see augmented reality through Google Glasses, and it's only going to help what we do because augmented reality is going to be a big part of everything Google does through those glasses. People are going to be looking. Our slogan is, "What does your T-shirt do?" And that's going to be great when those glasses come out. And I get that question just about every day. It's a good question, and I appreciate it.
Cool.
All right, we're out of time for this, and it's time to move to our feedback section and our voting. Let's go ahead and start again where we started with the questions. Eve, throw a little feedback at him and give him a vote.
I would have led with the Google Glasses thing and how that's going to that gives you an advantage in the if that's going to really improve your business. I would mention that straight off. And I like your that tagline you threw in there. The "What does your T-shirt do?" I would incorporate those right into your presentation. But again, great having the demo. Talk about maybe the size of the marketplace, maybe some hard numbers, and how much money you need. How much do you need to carry your inventory? So what are you looking for? What's that nut? And and I'm going to got to start somewhere, so I'm going to go ahead and give a 4.
All right.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eve. Axar?
Yeah, it would be very nice to actually hear what you need to sort of reach volume, what's your inventory of shirts that you need to buy, stuff like that. Those aspects of the business. Somebody with a software and media background, a lot less familiar with the actual processes involved with the operation side of things. The other thing is, I'm sure there are companies that are a lot more interested in augmented reality type clothing versus others, and those companies might be even better partners than somebody like Macy's. Maybe reaching out to companies like that would be an interesting thing for you to do. Just because Macy's clothes sounds like you're saying they carry all sorts of clothes, versus some individual maybe retailers are oriented towards more high tech or more interesting fashion.
All right. Thanks, Axar.
Thank you.
What's your score?
Oh yeah, sorry, I'd give him a 6.
It's 1 to 5, Oxar.
1 to 5.
Oh, then I'd give him a 4 as well.
All right.
Thank you.
You must have thought I was being really mean.
And for me, Brian, Brian, it's great whiz-bang technology, and you're right at the forefront where you can talk to people who are relatively sophisticated about what's going on and you can introduce even us to augmented reality, and we're very impressed. However, it's not really clear where your position is in the flow of the technology into the marketplace, and I'd like to get a more solid feel of that from the pitch. I'd also like to have a little more solid sense of where you're starting, where you're going to. So I'm going to wrap it up, and I'm going to give you about a 4. About a 4.
Excellent, excellent. Sorry about all the little technical glitches. We have we've just moved over to Wirecast and getting the hang of it today. So we're going to move on. If you all like Visual T, go to his Kickstarter page.
Visuality.
Visuality. Apologize. Go to his profile on agorstartupidol.com, and you can subscribe to him. Go to his Kickstarter page and help him out there. Now we're going to move on to Ologic. We need to move to the other screen. If you all could go to the other screen. And we have Ted from Ologic. Ted, your video is about ready to go. Are you ready, Ted?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you fine. We can hear you perfectly.
Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah, there we go.
While he's adjusting, Greg, would you do me a favor and zoom us out a little bit more so we don't have to go like this to get in a shot, although we do like that. And turn down the volume on Axar just a bit in the post. Thank you. Greg, by the way, is the genius who brought you audio at all. If it weren't for Greg, we wouldn't be hearing anything ever or seeing anything. So we do like our Greg. And now back a little bit. Okay. No, for some reason I'm frozen. I think you didn't trip on the wire just then, did you? Because it's frozen here. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is getting interesting. Hi, Ted. Everything's pretty wacky. So if you wouldn't mind, I wouldn't mind if you went ahead and started your pitch. Anyone got any problems with that? No. Let's dig in and make it happen. Ted, you have how many minutes? 2 minutes. Go, baby.
Okay. Hi, my name is Ted Larson, and I'm the CEO of Ologic. We're revolutionizing consumer robotics using smartphones, and we have these cool robots that basically you put your smartphone on, like a dock, and then it can get up and drive around, and it has cutesy little personality. You can't really see it very well from there. This one's got funky hair on it. Designing robotic items and toys for the last 5 years, and we're making a pivot towards selling some products with our own brand on the front. Some of our customers to date have included Hasbro, Disney, Google, and we also designed and sold a product in 2009 that was a top 10 toy. It was a toy called the Star Wars Force Trainer. It was a device where you wore a headset on your head. It would read your brainwaves, and then you'd levitate a ball in a tower while Yoda would give you tips on how to be a better Jedi. So we know exactly how to design the stuff. We know how to make it in volume. We've just never actually shipped a product under our own brand. And we're raising a Series A right now to try to do that. Tooling and things for products like this cost a lot of money. We are running a Kickstarter right now for the smartphone robot. It's called the Oddworks. It's ODDWERX. And you can go there and you can sign up. And for 99 bucks, you can end up with a cool robotic critter that will drive your smartphone around. And let's see, what other things can I tell you in the remaining 30 seconds? We are raising a Series A. We're looking for about $2 million. That'll take us into 2014 with no problem. And we think that we can launch this. And we also have another product. It's a robotic music player. And we think that we can launch both of these products and have them in the market within 6 to 8 months after receiving funding. And our target market is big box retail. We have some partnerships we're working on with places like Newegg, Best Buy, Walmart, Target. And so we're going to start out with this kind of low volume option that we have on the Kickstarter, and then move to a high volume tooled item to put it on the retail shelves. We do have a Chinese factory partner that we've used in the past on other toy projects. And I think my 2 minutes is probably quite up at this point, but I think the moderator's gone, so he's not there to stop me. So I can just keep going on and on and on about the great things that we can do. So
hey, did we ever wrap you up, or did you?
No, you never did. I was.
Oh, awesome. Okay,
goodness.
so you are the beneficiary of our technical adventure.
My goodness, it's going on and on and on.
Yeah. Okay. I'm afraid when I get around to judging you, I'm only going to be able to judge you on the first 3/4 of your talk. So being the least qualified to judge, I'll go ahead and start first. My question for you is, what is the coolest robot that you can tell us about that you might make or have made?
Oh, the coolest robot that I can tell you about that we have designed is this robot here. He's named Amp. He's the world's first two-wheeled self-balancing music player. So he balances on 2 wheels like a Segway and follows you around and plays your music for you. He has a smartphone app that allows you to control him, and you can stream your music from your smartphone to it. We think we can sell it at retail for about $3.99, and it is a product that was tooled for another toy partner, and the tooling actually exists in a factory in China. It's already been made, and we have rights to use those tools to actually produce it. So we're just lacking the funds to produce an MOQ on a product.
Ted, you make me feel like I asked exactly the right question. Man, if you ask someone what's the coolest robot you've built and they give an answer like that, that's a cool robot builder.
It is a cool robot.
Aksar, could you?
Yeah, definitely. It's a really, really interesting product. I think I've seen you guys' robot at Citrix Accelerator Hackathon for Robotics.
Yes. We won the Cloud Robotics Hackathon at the Citrix Startup Accelerator using this robot right here. So we took first in Silicon Valley region, and we took second in the world.
Awesome. Eve, do you have any questions?
Nice.
What's your margin on each of the robots?
It depends on which product, but our margins are designed for big box retail. So we keep about 50% margin for ourselves, and then offer another 50% margin to the retailer. So it's about a 4x multiple between X factory cost and retail price on the shelf.
And I can assume you've got plenty more ideas in the hopper.
Oh yeah, we have a whole pipeline of IP, because again, we've been developing products for other people for the last 5 years, and there's lots of cast-offs. There's pieces of cool tech that people chose not to ship that reverted back to us that we can then embed in products. These are just 2 cool products that we felt didn't have a home and that we had the most likely to push to market on our own brand.
And are you using Ologic as your brand name?
Ologic is our brand name. However, the products themselves are individually branded within a specific segment. So in the case of this guy, he's branded Oddworks, and there's a whole sequence of smartphone robotic critters that are in that. We have some smartphone apps that have autonomous little personalities that live on the phone. One of them's named Ike, the other one's named Lucy. Those are, again, Oddworks branded items. Versus Amp, he's a brand all by himself, and accessories and things that go along with him are him. So the idea is to build a pipeline of brands that go along with various specific market segments and then target them directly.
If I can ask a question.
Please do, Andy.
Even though I'm the MC and I'm not supposed to.
Read it off the sheet.
The sheet says, what did you learn? What did you learn from the first round, and what adjustments did you make, or what feedback you'd gotten?
I learned from the first round not to try to do a full-on demo of the actual thing, because you can't do it in 2 minutes. I also learned that I didn't talk enough about our financing or marketing strategy, and that I really needed to cover that a little bit better. So, and then I got all this extra bonus time, and I didn't know what to do with it.
Oh, I think we're into the wrap-up session and the feedback. So if we can get some feedback from.
Well, I went first. I should feedback first.
Why don't you feedback first and give me your score?
I tell you, Ted, you're not a slick presenter, and I mean that as a great compliment. You really you seem like you mean what you're doing. You seem like the kind of guy who would really pull a company like this off. I think it's an easy 4.2. Thanks very much.
Great, thank you.
Eve?
I was also happy to get all the details in the presentation. It's come a long way. I'm hard pressed to find a flaw, at least in the business plan. I will agree with George. You seem very genuine in your presentation. You might talk a little bit more about financials. I'm going to give you a 4.5.
Cool.
And good luck. I can't wait to see your stuff in my nearest big box.
That'll be awesome.
And
my only concern was that you're making 2 products and trying to launch them at the same time. Usually that does raise a flag or 2, because it is harder to do as a small team that's unfunded and unproven in terms of actually launching their own products. But otherwise than that, I think you're doing great, and I think you're going to be very successful. I'll give you a 4.3.
Cool, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We'll let you know, and if we can move on to our next.
Thanks, Ted.
Thanks a lot, Ted. You did awesome.
Thank you.
Who we got next?
I think we got Ken Gora. He kept making a guest appearance in the last couple.
Now, while we're waiting for Ken to chime in, I want to remind all of you at home, turn off your cell phones. We don't want them ringing and interrupting your entertainment experience.
And also, what Ken's queuing up, if you like Ologic, they have a Kickstarter page as well. So go to their profile page, get some points by going to the Kickstarter and set that up. It looks like we've got Ken up and ready, and we're going one after another because everybody's lined up now. Ken,
It would be interesting if you guys went ahead and posted links to your stuff. That would definitely help a little bit.
Okay. Don't pick up. You're plenty loud enough, XR. And Ken, can you hear us?
Ken, can you hear us? Ken.
Ken.
Yeah, right down the back of that Ken.
There you go. Ken.
Oops.
Can you hear us? No, he can't. Is anyone checking the broadcast to make sure that we're all getting out? He said he can't hear us.
Can you hear us at all, Ken?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Ah, now we can hear you.
I
Yes.
hear you fine.
Let's see. What could this be?
Somehow he doesn't have audio coming from us, but we can hear you fine, Ken.
I'm guessing it's on his end since everyone else can hear us.
We can hear you fine, Ken.
I am now hearing you.
Ah.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Well, you have 2 minutes if you're ready. Are you ready?
Yeah, sorry about the delay, guy.
No problem. You're great. We can hear you. 2 minutes, go.
Hi, I'm Ken. I own the company, thesalescontest.com. Last year, we experimented and held these live sales and marketing contests in different cities across the United States, where basically we would get hundreds of resumes from sales and marketing candidates, and we would pick the best 16. They would take 5 different companies sponsoring products and services and make sales revenue for them. And the compelling story of what we do is if you went to most companies and said, what is it you need? They would answer, we need sales. So our program, what we do is like a live American Idol of sales and marketing. We've also been invited to show this on cable TV in San Diego and in Detroit, Michigan. And we've also figured out how to do it online. So the 16 sales contestants can all log in similar to this, get the training from sponsoring companies, and then those companies will have sales throughout the United States. Our website tells more about it. We've got some compelling videos. That's what we do.
Excellent.
Very good.
Good timing. Good timing.
Thanks.
So, George,
Yeah.
you heard the whole thing. You want to ask the first
I heard the whole thing, but I'm feeling a little dim today. So if you could just tell me, let's say I experienced this as a salesperson. I come to you, I enter a contest, I give a sales pitch, and then what happens to me?
Yeah, what the sales contestants get out of it, George, is they may end up with a job offer from one of the 5 sponsoring companies. They're competing for a $100,000 a year prize, poking from our company a job offer. That's what the winner gets, and they get sales commissions and bonuses throughout the 7-week journey. So they win in 3 ways. They make money, they may get a job offer, and if they win the whole thing, we're going to make them a job offer.
So it's like Agora Startup Idol for sales.
That sounds good.
It is. And,
That's brilliant.
Ironically, my last name is Gora, and I've been doing this for a year.
Oh my
Your
God.
first name doesn't start with an A.
Well, okay, no more having XR go second. It's Eve's turn to go second. XR gets it back cleanup. Go ahead, Eve.
I'm going to go ahead and ask a question I know the answer to, but you didn't talk about in your pitch is your revenue model.
Yeah, the revenue from 7 different places. Number 1 is the sponsoring companies pay a fee to have the contestants sell their products. And we give those companies a money-back guarantee that the salespeople will deliver more than the $5,000 to $7,000 that the sponsoring companies bring in, pay. The second revenue model is we sometimes earn a bonus for hitting certain deliverables above that revenue. There's also an advertising revenue stream. And if a sponsoring company makes a job offer to any of the contestants, we earn a below normal fee for placing, for matching the 2. But primarily the revenue is from sponsorship revenue from the companies that come in.
Are you revenue positive now? Or, yeah.
Yes, we are. And why we're seeking an investor in this exposure, and Eve, maybe you can attest to this, if we came to Austin to do this, or 3 other cities, I don't have the infrastructure to set all that up at once. We literally have a waiting list of customers that would like sales revenue.
Okay, so what is your requirements for infrastructure?
We need a software engineer to handle all the monitoring of the salespeople's efforts and coordinate that with the sponsoring companies. We also need a full-time recruiter to go through all the resumes and candidates that want to be in this contest. And we also need a good customer service department to follow up with both the customers and the sponsoring companies. So probably another 4 to 5 people.
And would you need that per city or just in general? As in,
He froze. Oh, he's back. Are you back?
Yeah.
would you need to do that per individual city, or would you only need to do that once, these extra 4 people?
They can be brought in intermittently.
Okay.
And my go ahead, XR. You're a judge.
My other question was, this sounds like a very interesting service business. Is there any IP that you could point to that would protect you from somebody else coming in and basically trying to run the same operation but in some leaner way with better connections?
That's a great question. We've really literally created an industry. I mean, no one else is doing what we're doing. But someone could copy this and do it differently. Some say that this reminds them of The Apprentice, except live, making real money for different cities' economy. We have gotten 2 different people in 2 different small cities wonder if we could franchise this to them, meaning pay us a fee on the front end and then use our name and model and infrastructure to help them set it up in their cities. But really what fascinates me is the ability to launch 10 of these contests a month through online technology, where virtually many companies and many people could participate at the same time. And it becomes almost like an eBay of sales.
Excellent. I think we're out of time for questions now. So why don't we go to the feedback, and we'll finish up. We'll have Ankar go first. If that's good. Feedback?
Sure. I think this is a very interesting model. You want to definitely focus on setting it up so that it's a lot easier slope for people to franchise, work with you, use your brand to do something at their own location. Kind of open sourcing your model as much as possible so that there's a lot less likelihood for people to come up and compete against what you're doing.
Agreed.
I give your thing 4.2.
Excellent. Eve?
Yeah, I would include some of the revenue. I mean, you have so many revenue streams. You just I don't know, maybe give a percentage or per city or per event, and I would definitely mention that you're already profitable. That makes a difference. That you have sales. That you've done this before. You've had if you've actually made one of those $100,000 a year offers, that would be fun to talk about. Sort of how many of them you've done, and that TV show you were telling me about as well. I think I'm also going to do a 4.2.
Excellent. And George?
Yeah, I'm going to go up to a 4.3 because Ken, I'm just hoping that someday you're doing similar to what we're doing. It's so parallel, and I'm hoping someday you'll be able to give us some tips, ask us some questions, and give us some advice. 4.3 for doing what you're doing and inspiring us.
Thanks.
Excellent, Ken. Thank you very much, Ken. We'll get back with you, and you can watch us on the wrap-up show to know who won. Thank you much, and we're going on to
blogging.org
now from blogging.org. And we'll give it a second.
Can you guys hear me?
Can you hear us?
Yeah,
yes,
we can hear.
We don't
is
know
that John? We don't have your video yet.
Yeah, that's John. I wonder where my video went.
If you could cycle.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cycle to the avatar.
Okay.
So we got a twofer, huh? We got two guys from blogging.org?
No, Brendan is.
Yep. Sorry.
Sorry, I'm switching back right now, so hopefully we can get it.
Excellent.
No, people watching at home, you're not going crazy. These people are appearing and disappearing right before your eyes.
Nice.
Awesome.
It's John.
It's me. What up? So just tell me whenever you guys
All right,
are ready.
John, you're on.
You're
Start.
on. Whenever
2 minutes.
you're ready to go.
All right, my name's John Rampton from blogging.org. We are a marketplace to buy and sell content online. So if you're a blogger, Google has recently changed their algorithms. So 30% of all search results are content that's been updated in that day. So if your blog or your website, your business website wants to rank online, you need updated content. So you can come to our site and buy content. You tell exactly what you want, how long you want it, what keywords you want, and people will write it for anywhere from between $1.25 to $15 an article. We do have professional writers that go up to like $500-600 an article. So some of our founding team is myself, Zach Johnson, Jeremy Shoemoney, and John Chow. Now, Jeremy Shoemoney, if you recognize him, he was 2009's Internet Most Influential Person by Inc. magazine. We had a beta for this where we put up 2 blog posts about 2 weeks ago where we opened it up to 2,000 people. We filled that 2,000 people in 13 minutes. And we have an additional 16,000 people on the waiting list. Of those 2,000 people, about 5% of them were advertisers. And so far, those advertisers have basically come out to $36,000 in the past 13 days. So we know it's a definite, people want this, people need this, advertisers really want it, bloggers really want it, they want to make money, people need articles. It's just a wonderful marketplace, and we're seeing tons of engagement. So that's blogging.org.
It's great. Axar, you want to go first? If you're speaking, Axar, I'm not hearing you. He's not muted, is he?
Sorry about that, guys. I muted myself. So my first question is, talk a little bit about your financing requirements.
So financing as for like an advertiser?
No, I mean, I imagine you guys need to raise some sort of money to scale this thing, and so I'm just wondering.
Yeah, it's totally bootstrapped right now. Basically, all of us came in with money. We're all internet entrepreneurs, so the majority of it was just putting it out to people, and we had such an engagement that basically raised all the money to build the system and really perfect the system. So it's 100% bootstrapped. So we're not looking to raise any money. We're mainly looking for users.
Nice. Well, so the process is I post some sort of a job, write me this blog post, and then afterwards one of you guys writes it.
Correct. Yep. So it's actually not myself. It's a big group of writers that are trying to make money online.
Axar, we have to keep moving along. So Eve, can you ask a question?
So do you have any automation in the works so you don't have to put so much manual effort into the choosing? Some way you can mechanize the whole process?
Yes, we have. So we've started incorporating different things in the past week, since last week, that have really helped us. We've basically put in some algorithm things. We have some pretty smart people working on it, but they are testing it, making sure, basically copy-scaping everything and checking the vocabulary to make sure it works. So that is in the works. It's not right now. Right now it's just manual, but that is in the works, and we've kind of started that in the past probably like 4 or 5 days. So yeah.
Good. All right. Can you give us a description of something that's gotten written through your system that you're really proud you were part of the creation of? In other words, what piece really made you feel like, all right, we have really done our job?
Okay, so one of our clients is a major airline. They're one of your top 5 airlines. They're an advertiser, and they need a lot of content for all their different sites. And they put out one. It ended up being reblogged by the New York Times. I mean, that was a really good success story for us. That's our article. It went through our system. And I mean, this is in the past week. I mean, we literally,
what do you think?
2 weeks ago, we launched, and that article's been written, blogged, and then reblogged on, you know, some.
What was it about that? What was it about that article that you think made it really fly? Haha.
I think it was just mainly the airline put it out through a ghostwriter, essentially us. But a lot of it was on different security things that are happening right now and different protocols that are being made in the airline industry. So that also helped.
Also very topical. Yeah. Okay, XR, you want to throw back a little bit of a feedback and a score? Oh, just a second. Wait, before you do that, how are we on time on the first part of the? We got a little time left for questions.
Did you get any branding out of that Times article? So does it say content provided by blogging.org or some other way?
No, we did not. This is 100% guest ghost authoring. So the people then own the article and can do what they want with it. So, I mean, we would love that, but no, we're writing it for people kind of like ghost authors.
How many of the writers that you have are considered star writers? You know,
I would say probably about 10% of our writers are considered star writers. I'd say about 50% are good writers. They can write, you know, your average good blog post. We have probably about 30% are and then probably about 10% that we kind of almost turn away. So.
Okay. Well, a little feedback for him, XR?
Yeah, definitely sounds like a very interesting company. You guys seem to be knowing what you're doing. My biggest concern and something I think you should focus on is how do you scale while keeping the content good? Like you were saying, how do you make sure that your writers keep on being good? And I give it a 4.7.
Wow. Eve?
I agree about the scalability. I worry about your ability to scale and how much has to go and the variety of things people are looking for when they're looking for writers. And I think if you fine tune it and start adding a lot of those like levers, I think that's going to make a difference. So when people, which we talked about before, some of the same feedback,
yeah.
but nice to see the numbers in the presentation. Thanks for doing that right up front. And bring that Times article thing. That's a big deal. So I would include that in your presentation to start with saying we've already hit the Times. So that's a big deal. I'm going to give you a solid 4.
Sweet, thanks.
All right. It's for my part, it's a healthy, solid pitch. It seems like a good company and it's going to do well. I just have a problem in principle that art isn't a batch process and sorting art even less. I have to give it a 3. But once again, I have to tell you that I have a lot of admiration for you taking it as far as you've gotten it. It's a pretty exciting deal. So we thank you for that, and I think it's about time for us to wrap the show up. What do you say, Andy?
Yeah, we're going to take just a short couple-minute break, and we will be right back, and hopefully we will get rid of a couple of glitches, but we'll have a whole new set of 4 startups that have queued up for the next heat, and that'll be back in about less than 5 minutes.
Less than 5 minutes? I'm going to the bathroom, and you should too.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.